Next for Sag, we've got a Two of Wands. That Two of Wands energy is very much, it's kind of like about what choice to make, but there's really only one choice because we're going to go down the rabbit hole. We got a Queen of Cups. Hang on. Sag has just one choice really to make. Strength card. I think it's about opening up one's heart. This almost feels like Sag is maybe like fighting themselves just a little bit and saying, "Oh man, do I really want to, feel these feels?" And part of it to me is like, well, I can't help it. I do feel the feels, even if I don't want to admit it. So I'm kind of already in this, right? I'm already there. Got a Knight of Wands. There's the energy of love. There's the energy of, having the strength to admit that there's love. But the problem is, Sag might be in love with somebody who they think is maybe going to be not necessarily a player, but somebody that they can't really rely on. And Sag might be just acknowledging, I'm already hooked. I already feel these feelings, and they're strong feelings. But I also have the strength to look at the situation for what it is and say, I think that there's a lot of lust here, particularly on their side toward me. And I think that they're a knight, not a king or a queen. Got a Four of Swords in the reverse. We got the Ten of Wands in the reverse. I almost feel like if Sag is going to decide to still, deal with this person, they're just walking in eyes wide open. They're like, look, I'm not going to let it hurt my feelings because I know right out of the gate, they are not maybe going to be Mr. or Mrs. Right, but rather they may be Mr. or Mrs. Right now. And if I want to have this relationship with them or encounter with them or situationship with them, I can do so without guilt. I'm allowed to, pursue what I want to, even if I'm walking in eyes wide open. I'm not going to get my heart broken because I can see what the scenario is, but I may still want to go ahead and go down that road. It really feels like Sag is about to just allow themselves to pursue the experience that they want to have. We have Temperance. This is them feeling very peaceful about it because they've looked at it and they know it. It's a Nine of Coins. I do think this is Sag saying, look, I'm personally empowered. I'm single. I get to choose whatever it is that I want to choose. I think that this comes across, we do have a Nine of Wands. I think this comes across as Sag, right there in their own Saggy energy. They're really owning this and they're saying, I have had the wisdom to know that I can love people sometimes who are going to be transitional in my life. They may not stay around a long time, but I also know that sometimes it doesn't mean that you can't love somebody without like losing yourself to it. It doesn't mean that you have to set yourself up for huge pain. In fact, if anything, I feel like Sag is saying, I can love someone, maintain my power. And maybe I realize then it's not always about me. Maybe if there's someone that I care about, maybe in truth, they need something from me. Maybe that's the other reason they're making googly eyes at me. Because this person is definitely very much wanting Sag, and they're letting Sag know. They're showing with that intention. They're showing with those eyes, like, I'm really interested. Six of Cups is sideways. That Six of Cups being sideways is like, I do think that we're soulmates. And so that's probably why there's this pull, this draw, because of course, I'm attracted to them. Of course, they're attracted to me, or we have some kind of, like purpose to engage together. We got the Eight of Pentacles. I do think Sag is basically saying, you know what? Maybe there's something that I'll either help them work on or they'll help me work on. But I feel like Sag is really, they're very open to the idea that we meet people in life and for some reason they're important to us. And for some reason we're drawn to them, they're drawn to us. And I almost think that maybe Sag has been reading up on things, about like serendipity, or they're reading up on soulmates, or they're reading up on, like just the ways that we impact each other or support each other, and kind of like researching in a cerebral manner why there are some people in this lifetime that we are drawn to, even if we know that it's a situation that may not be the textbook standard fulfillment, where it's like, oh, I met somebody, I dated them, we fell in love, and then we're supposed to be together forever. I think this Sag is like, what I've learned in life and I'm still learning about is that there are people that we feel drawn to for one reason or another. And I'm starting to wonder if Sag hasn't been doing some past life research, because this says Sag might be saying, maybe I'm drawn to them because when I look at them, I sense a sorrow or a loneliness in them. Maybe I pick up a heartbreak that they carry and have carried through lifetimes. Maybe I can't help but love them and, want to like support them, nurture them, interact with them. Maybe I know they need something from me. Maybe this isn't even about passion per se. I mean, it could be, but it could also be the Sag is like, I can feel the grief in them, but maybe it's because I was a past life soulmate. Maybe they lost me once upon a time in the past. I almost think that Sag is like wondering about this, contemplating this, learning a little bit about this. 10 of Pentacles. And they're kind of saying then maybe in this lifetime we have opportunities to like even the score, put the final penny in the piggy bank and wrap up cycles. It's like they're looking at personal one-on-one connections that are kind of inexplicable. Like this is inexplicable because it's like, I know I have a choice to not engage with this person, but honestly, I feel like I got to go down the rabbit hole with them because for some reason, I already know this person either needs my strength or I have this strange feeling of like, I have this love for them. And I know that they're staring at me with this emotion of like, I know I'm not going to let my heart get broken by them or anything, but there is something that I do love them. So what does that mean? I could love somebody that I think won't stay very long, but I feel a sorrow in them, but I don't think I'll be brokenhearted by them. It's weird how Sag is laying out like all of this kind of weird like premonition of how it'll all play out. And then it's making me think that they are researching past life stuff and understanding or coming to a conclusion, whether it's true or not for them, but coming to the conclusion that there's opportunities in life to either help each other get beyond, sorrow, or help each other, get to a point of healing. And maybe that's what the past life reconnection is. We have an opportunity to help each other out. Maybe we had unfinished business. King of Cups, there's also this energy of like, I don't know if Sag is saying I might be going to give them some of my time and attention because I believe, even if I believe they're not going to stick around for very long, it might be what I might have what they need to help them to heal from something. And if that puts them on a path of becoming that King of Cups, amazing. That will have been well worth it. I can be generous. I can give somebody my affection, my energy, because it's there anyway. I love them. But who knows? Maybe that shifts things, oh my God, or makes them want to shift things and become that full blown. Remember, we already had the Queen of Cups. Now we got the King of Cups and we've got the Magician. It's weird because Sag is saying on paper, this doesn't work. Meeting this person initially, I can see there's no way, this is not a good idea. But for some reason, I feel connected to this person and it doesn't make a lick of sense. But there it is. I feel something where they're drawn to me for a reason. I'm drawn to them too. And if giving this person some of my attention or gentleness could impact them in a positive way, maybe help their heart heal from something, who knows what impact that could have. Maybe they evolve into a full-blown King of Cups. Maybe they actually match me. Maybe they wind up being my person. Maybe they wind up, wanting to evolve into a King of Cups and regaining their power. Hang on, let's take a look. Because obviously, Sag is like really laying out this maybe storyline, right? Which I love because it is coming up with this very gentle, like maybe when we're drawn to people in this lifetime, there's reasons for it. And maybe we can help each other. The universe is weighing in and saying Star card and the Eight of Pentacles. I like the fact that the universe is saying everything in life is about healing. It's about transforming. It's about growing. It's about rising and elevating and becoming better and hopefully making wishes and dreams come true. And over time, maybe evolving, and our wishes and dreams become better hopes, wishes, and dreams to pursue as we continue to evolve and expand and explore and become, better people as a whole. All of this looks just really, really nice. All of this looks really, really nice. Three of Swords. And again, there's this an awareness that this person has a heartbreak. There's this awareness that this person has hurt and pain. There's this awareness. We got a Page of Pentacles also upright. That Page of Pentacles is somebody who really, just really, again, it's this gentleness. And the universe says there are people that have heartbreaks. And when we handle each other with care, it's amazing how much we can do to help their hearts heal. It's amazing how much helping another person sometimes helps us also. So if the whole goal of life is to, reach for happiness, pursue the ability to heal, encourage or help others to heal, encourage and help others to transform, and recognize when the people that we meet have wounds and then handle them with care, that's this storyline in a nutshell. Whatever the outcome is, I don't know, but the universe says all of this just looks like a worthy use of one's energy if there's a gentleness and a kindness. Universe, you want to weigh in on the fact that they look like the Knight of Wands? Because that can be somebody who's, like, I want passion. The universe says but that's not actually true. That's they're hungry for something, but it's not like just passion, right? What they actually are is a wounded soul. We've seen that Three of Swords twice. We've seen a heartbreak. We've seen somebody who has hurt and pain. And we see somebody where the universe is like, it would not be true that they're just there for passion. They may not even realize it themselves. What they're looking for is healing, and that they might get from the gentleness of Sag. And if that is the case, universe, what happens if they receive this kind of gentleness? Seven of Wands, it could really help them break out of a cage. Look, this is not a story where it says, oh, Sag has to find people and say it's my job to fix you, so I have to invest my time, my effort, my energy, getting nothing back from you, risking nothing but heartbreak, or give you access to my whatever, my body, my time, my money, no, that is not what this story is. We have a story of Sag already feels this unexpected, inexplicable pull towards somebody, and they're like, look, I don't think this person is in king or queen status. In fact, I know that they're not. And yet I don't think that they've got ill intents, even if I'm not going to expect too much from them. But I'm balanced enough to say I'm whole enough. I have enough to share. If they want to go ahead and, be a soulmate to me, if I feel like this person is important, for whatever reason, it's hard for me to understand, but I'm kind of, flirting with the idea of maybe there's something to this past life stuff. And if I could help a past life soulmate just by being kind to them, and that might really help them, then it would be so worth it because I like this person. And if I could, imagine that being kind would improve their circumstances somehow, I could do that. None of this says that, Sag has to fall in love with them or, it just says, I think Sag is already so drawn to them. And when they're like, I don't know why I'm so drawn to them, I just am. And I don't think this is Sag just trying to make an excuse for it. I think this is them saying, there's a reason that we meet certain people in this life. And as long as I'm strong and I'm not over giving and I'm not depleting my resources, if I need to figure out, why do I feel like I want to give this person some support, some of my energy, some of my time, then I'm just going to go ahead and explore that without overextending myself. And then we'll see what happens. And it's just sweet because the universe is kind of saying, in truth, maybe we're all here to help each other out to a certain extent, as long as there can be positive change. Not to get stuck in karmic cycles, not to deplete ourselves and say, okay, I have to keep giving and giving to somebody that doesn't want to change, doesn't want to heal, but rather, an element of kindness, a baseline of kindness, and support of one another can go a long way to helping somebody, any soulmate, improve their circumstances. I don't know, this almost feels like there could be a very surprising turnaround where the kindness that Sag gives to this person over time, it could definitely, because we had that, actually we've had 3 sevens in a row, so we're rocking 777, which is divine numbers. It's not true that they just want passion with Sag. It's almost like they need to be noticed and seen. And then over time, I think if trust builds and if they're more stable and they're offering more, this could actually evolve into a great relationship. But again, I think the key to all of this is King of Pentacles. This person may really evolve and become a full-blown king. We see them as potentially becoming a King of Cups or a King of Pentacles. I think they actually become a King of Pentacles, not a King of Cups, if that makes sense. They may wind up with a lot more stability than what Sag would have ever expected at first. It's possible. But I think that the key to all of this is, Sag is drawn to someone and they're walking in eyes wide open, knowing full well, I don't really know how this is going to go. But I feel like I want to give to this and just see what comes of it. And then I'll know what to do after that. If this is just a friendship, if this is a romance, or if this is somebody that I know for a little while and then we part ways, I still feel like I need to be a friend to them because I feel already a pull toward them, and I know they feel that pull toward me. It's just in this storyline, it looks like there's a beautiful outcome for these two. But again, Sag is not expecting it. They're just saying, I'll accept whatever the outcome is, but I have to follow my intuition that there's a reason I met them and there's a reason I'm pulled toward them. And there's nothing here that says that this person is, mean or selfish or anything like that. It kept saying that they were a wounded individual, but that somehow Sag's kindness was a huge boost to helping them to heal. All right, I'll leave this here. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.